Hello, dear Celestial viewers. Nice to meet you here again. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, Today, I chose a very special theme, a theme that touches my heart really deeply. I'm going to discuss, can you believe that? Logics of magic. Do you hear me well?
I'm going to discuss.
You
Então,
hear me well?
eu consigo te ouvir, mas pulou toda a introdução.
Como assim?
Todo o seu agradecimento de começar a live.
Não apareceu? Tava sem som?
Não estava entrando ao vivo ainda.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was told that the introduction didn't appear. Thank you again for being in here, for joining me. Today I brought a very special subject, which is the beginning of real magic, so we can see magic working in our lives. And the idea of putting that into logics is because, like this, when we know how something works, we trust it and we allow it to happen. So, uh, if you want to see magic, but if you keep creating in your thoughts ideas against it, you will not open yourself up to see it. So what I'm here for is we're going to put all the workings of magic kind of into logic from magical's perspective, in the idea of trying to make magic talk human language, if I can say that better. And in that, we can allow your mind to accept its logic, to start seeing it and bringing it into real life. Now, the idea that made me bring this idea into discussion, let me get an image here just a bit. I got this image. This image tells us a lot about magic. Okay, I'm gonna share an image with you guys, and this image precisely represents how logic of magic works. Okay, but this is just a very beginning. So let me start sharing my screen with you so you can realize what I'm talking about, and this will bring our whole discussion. Okay. Okay. This is a flower of a moon, and this is magic. Okay. I chose a very specific sentence to start this live. If you had seen the thumbnail before it starts, it was saying, "Those who believe in magic are destined to find it." Once I was caught by the sentence, and I was like, I do see already a lot of stuff, and I do bring to reality a lot of my will. So, what is the essence of magic? And I was discussing it with a friend, and I don't know why we got this image. We got into this image. Sorry. In this image, we were talking, okay, how can your eyes see different things if they're expecting normalcy? And we went into this picture because this picture is like, okay, but I can make a flower of the moon. And I was like, you cannot make a flower of the moon. And he was like, I can make a flower of the moon. And I was like, okay, that is a way too much magic. I'm sorry, you cannot make a flower of the moon. And just like in the scene, in this picture, he took a flower without the, okay, he took the stick with the leaves, but not the flower in itself. And he like stretched his hands up to the point where we could see precisely the moon on the leaves, just like you're seeing on this picture. And he told me, okay, are you seeing the flower of the moon? And I got like, okay, yes, I am seeing a flower of the moon. I know what you're talking about. But I do believe in magic, but I'm calling this for essence because this picture shows the difference of vision that you need to have. Magic is not out of reality. Magic is your inner power, is your divine nature working through you. I'm going to give you a small example that was very real in my life. And this we can use for detailed small things and for larger things. The thing is, I was waking up, I wanted to have my breakfast, and I was like, oh my God, I really wanted an avocado. And believe me, I live in the same house since I was born. This is almost like 40 years old. There never has been no one my whole life passing in my street selling avocados. And I wake up and I have this will. I want avocado in my breakfast. And I go to my car out on the streets. And out of a sudden, a guy's come selling avocados. Avocados, $5 avocados. Who wants avocados? And I was like, oh my God, I brought this guy here. And this is the power of your will. Okay, I'm putting this just for an avocado wish, but I did a whole international travel under the same concept with everything paid, including the flight and the job I went to do there was supposed to be a voluntary job and was actually paid. So when I say that this is possible, is not because I'm guessing it or because I heard from others. It actually happened to me. But you don't need to trust me. You have to try it for yourself. That's why we're going to have this chat today. Because you don't need to trust my words. You need to live it for yourself. You need to watch it from your eyes. If you're in that place, or okay, I have already seen a lot of things. I have seen deja vus. I have seen scenes of future. I can realize that sometimes feels like I'm connected to someone else. So okay, you already got it going on. Maybe you're in the start, but you can already see it. But maybe you're in the point that you realized something's weird, but you never saw it with your life. And it's not just to trust someone else's words as you would have to believe in my story. You don't need to believe my story. You need to see it for yourself. The beginning of magic is like this. For us to see something different out there in the world, we need to make different in here and in our hearts too. Because the beginning of magic is actually uh, a set of change so big that you can actually let me get back to my o que está acontecendo? Eu não estou achando a coisa certa. Leandro, eu tô off? Lê.
Não, não tá. Tudo certo.
Aqui, pronto. Tava com muita janela aberta. Tá, esse cara aqui, deixa eu. Aí. Okay, so the beginning of magic is if you change here your perception, you will see the difference in the world. Okay, so the thing is, if you're starting realizing things different from what you do now, if you're not seeing magical things, you will start to seeing them outside. So let's transform within to transform outside. Okay, inner worlds are outer worlds because the outer world is a reflection of inner world. This is the beginning. Okay, can I repeat? The outer world is a reflection of inner world. Everything that you can see out here, it was actually first planned in here, okay? Sorry if I'm hitting the mic. With that in mind, what do we have? We have this. If you wish something and if it comes from deeply within your heart, just trust it. Because I told you before, right? If you are looking for something, even if it's an experience, a person, a place, if you're looking for anything, that thing is also looking for you. Because the true wish inside of you that makes you want to wish this with your whole life, with your whole being, is actually that place calling you to go there or that experience calling you to leave it because it will teach you something. And why do I say this? Because this is the beginning of your eyes, third eyes opening. This is the beginning of you realizing that your power can interfere in real life in so many aspects. If you are very aware of your subconscious, you can work it almost like in Star Wars when you are a Jedi. And it's true because this connection exists and influence you can do from within you to other people. If you're strong about your opinions, you can change someone else's mind without saying a word, just by generating. Como é emanar? Emitir?
Generate.
Não é.
Emanate.
just by emanating that thought that you're trusting within you. So, okay, what do we have? We need, first of all, self confidence. Okay, don't make a wish if you don't trust yourself. Don't waste that energy. Don't throw it away. Okay, if you're gonna make a wish, you need to be super aligned with yourself that you had the agreement on this with, and in a spiritual level, with all the experience in the whole world, you had agreed with everyone existing that can combine their thoughts to make this happen. You had already agreed that this would work in your mind, in your heart. So trust this, what you want. Trust what you want. This is highly important, okay? And we need to start changing our visions from ourselves. We need to start seeing us differently, okay? You were born with natural powers. You were born as part of a divine being. You have this, it is on you, okay? So when you decide something, don't let anyone, don't let nobody make you think like you can't. You just can, okay? Because whatever it is in this life that you are searching for, it is also searching for you because you need to live that experience. Okay, so with that in mind, what is magic? Magic is a magic trick? No, I'm talking about real life magic. I'm gonna tell you a story, okay? I talk to astral beings, spiritual beings. I honestly think that they're not like past people. They're like superior spiritual beings because they feel like it. They feel like from another higher level. And I was sad. I was going through a kind of a depressive moment for some things that were happening in my life back then. It was 2017, and I was sad. And my spiritual guiders, because they don't like me sad, because when I said I don't produce, and when I'm happy I produce, so they wanted me happy. They were like, okay, so what can we do to make you happy? And I said, I want to see God. I want to see God. And they told me, how do you think that in this life you can see God? And I got very specific in this point. I totally used it as for my personal interest because I really did want to see him, the force, this original seed. Okay. And I was like, I want to see the force. I want to really see the force. I have seen smaller aspects of the force. I hear the force talking to me, giving me advices, but I want to see him. And they were asking me, okay, so if you want to see the force, how do you think that in this life, this physical 3D life, how do you think that the force can present himself to you? And I was like, the force can anything, right? And they were, yes, the force can anything. There's nothing impossible for the force, right? Yes, there is nothing impossible for the force. Okay, so this is what I want to see the force. I want to travel. I want it to be international. I want it to be full of people from a lot of places, a lot of countries. I want this travel to be paid for. I don't want to need to worry with the people paying for it. So I want these people to be very rich because the money that they're going to spend with me is not going to make a difference for them. And I want to have this international experience with a lot of international people from everywhere around the world. I want to be fully paid from the passages to the to the place to
Location,
the location. What an easy word to forget. And I wanted everything arranged, and
hotels.
I want to be brought there. I want to be left there at this point with everything paid, and I want all this configuration set. And I don't want to look for it. I want it to be brought to me. Okay, so you need to deliver it in my hands. Guys, from this point on, the story only goes very interesting because wishing for it was just the smallest, teeny tiniest part of this magic because it was like this. In December 26th of 2017, I saw this announce in a group there was this those guys, they were Canadian, and they were going like, we're opening this place and it's here in Peru. We want translators, and we want to see people who could be interested in this because we need a translator to be in here with us all the time, full time. And we're going to take care of everything for this person to be here safely. We just need to wait 6 months because the lodge is getting ready. But the purpose is this lodge is from a Shipibo tribe and to pass their spiritual culture to foreigners. So I need a translator from Spanish to other languages. And because we're Canadians, we also need English. And I was like, okay, I'm going to subscribe. And I wrote them, hey guys, I can speak 4 languages. I would love to be a part of this. I have been in this spiritual quest since 2010. I'm super willing to go. Please consider me to be part of this experience. And I think this was something around this. And the guy answered to me, and he was like, oh, where do you live? And I said, I live in Brazil. And he said, oh, it's a little bit further away, but okay, we're going to keep in touch. Okay. And I said, okay, keep those dates because they're going to tell the difference. And those numbers also have meaning. I was in April 26th. It would mean April. Okay. So December, January, February, March, and April, 4 months. In 4 months, I got a channel. I got a channel. This is very important, guys. I was in myself and I got this spiritual being talking to me, and he was saying like this, hey, Danny. And I was like, okay, I hear you. What do you need? He's saying, I need you to do something for me. And I said, okay, what is it? And he came to me saying this, you need to live an experience, and this is an experience that I'm not getting to send it to you because you have fears in your heart that are blocking this experience from coming. And I was like, what is the experience? What is the fear? I don't fear. I have no fear. I can talk to ghosts. I have no fears. And he was like, you have a fear, and I need to cry that fear outside. To do that, I need you to play a song. And in playing that song, you are going to hear what you're fearing because you're going to cry when you hear the part of the song that talks about your fear. And I was like, okay, what is the song? And he put the song right into my head. It was a Brazilian song, which is very deep. It's talking about all feminine transformations from the current themes all around the world around feminism. Do you think I should get the translation from the music in here right now, eh? So I could share with them what was the music and the lyrics?
You have
Yeah,
15 more
okay.
minutes.
Okay. Let me get the translation very fast, guys, just a bit. Um, okay, I got it. I'm gonna tell you a bit about what of this music, okay? I cannot sing it if I'm not mistaken, but the music's called Sad Matter Bad. And it says like this, Sad Matter Bad. She will qualify as she who refuses to follow the normal path. The path of culture, of the husband, of the family, of tending to, as everyone, tending to routine. Those who reject this well known path are only those who can accept, not painlessly, that everything has got to change. And then it says that a man doesn't define you, that a house doesn't define you, that flesh and blood doesn't define you. She has lost her mind, she has undone her ties, she's gonna live on her own. And guys, when it said she's going to live on her own, my body filled with tears, like tears. and they were dropping, and they were more like than dropping. They were, I was, como é que é tomada? I was permeated by this, oh, a lot of emotions going on in me because I was going to live alone. And it was a fear I had. And I started crying, and I'm sorry if I'm my makeup. I'm sorry, guys. And I started crying, and I couldn't stop crying. But back there, when I was in the end of the crying, that I got all the relief, I realized I was scared to leave alone. Okay, I didn't know because I feel like I'm a modern woman. Okay, but we have more deep within ourselves than we know because culture tells us a lot. And by all the saying from culture, we stopped believing in a lot of things that are amazing for us just because culture said it didn't work. I'm saying this for you now. I'm sorry. It's not true. They do work. Okay. And then it was like this. I cried and I cried. I put all that fear of being alone outside of myself. And the spirit said, okay, did you get what you were fearing? And I said, okay, I got what I was fearing. I was afraid of being alone. And they said, yes, you were. And I said, okay, what you got now? And they said, you have a trip to do. You have a trip to do. You are going to meet the force. People will tell you not to go because it will seem very, very unconventional, and you still will have to fight for yourself, and you will have to go if you want to live the experience that you requested for with the force. You will have to go, fearing it or not, with everyone else saying for you not to go, you have to go. And I said, that doesn't make any sense. I have no trips to do. I didn't buy no flight tickets. I didn't anything. I have no travels to do. And he said, you are traveling. After that, I got a cat, and she's very mediunic too. When I say mediunic, it's like mediumship. And what I mean by that is the mediumship is this person that can encounter herself in the middle of astral realms and physical world. And because she gets to stay in that middle, she gets to hear people from the other level and pass the message here. And because of that, this person is called intermediary. And in this intermediary thing, this is called the medium because it's the medium path. It's in the medium. Okay. So they said this, and I got this cat, and she's mediunic too. And she was telling me, and I was like, oh my God, my cat's talking to me now. And I was like, okay, 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 my cat's talking to me. Okay. And I forgot about it because I thought it was like too absurd. But then the cat said again, please don't leave me behind. I want to go with you. I was like, oh my God, my cat's feeling sad. Cat, are you feeling sad? Her name is Nina. Nina, are you sad? I live with you. Don't worry. I live with you. You're not staying anywhere far away from me. And there was the third time I heard her heart asking the same thing. By then, I already spoke telepathically. So since 2015. So when I say she was talking to me, it was on our telepathy. Besides that, we learned our telepathy from a boa constrictor, and she also lived with that boa constrictor. She also learned mediumship, and we were communicating telepathically. And I was like, don't worry, I live with you. I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. We live together. I'm not going to leave you behind. Don't worry. I love you. You're my cat. You're my friend. We walk around together in the neighborhood. I'm not going to leave you. And I was feeling her sadness. I could feel her sadness. She was asking me all the time, don't leave me behind. This happened in April 26th. Okay? Pay attention. April is the fourth month. Besides that, it was precisely 4 months after I had inscribed myself in that experience to live abroad for the Canadian group of Shipibo spiritual culture. Okay, so April 26th, they made me cry my fear of living alone. And they told me that a traveling was coming. I was living with two girls. Those two girls, they are also one of my both my favorite witches. And they, when I was close to them, my witch's power were enhanced, because this happens when you have a lot of wizards and witches around your inner power. Their power enhance your power, and being by their side makes you realize your power, because they make the power energy flow through you. And I was close to them, so I felt this whole thing permeating my body to talk about that message. And it was like an energetic channel going through me. And in that, I told them, okay, there is nothing going on. I have no travels. Okay, May 1st, a guy calls me. Hey, can I talk to you? And I said, okay, let's talk. He said, do you remember that in December you had inscribed yourself to participate here on a spiritual lodge here in Peru? And I said, yes. And he told me, you got chosen. We have been following you on Facebook since then. And from all the profiles that we have been following to see who we're going to choose, you were the chosen. And I was like, okay, can I get back in the story a little? Okay, in the previous day, on April 30, I heard the spirit telling me someone is gonna call you, and when they ask you what is the salary you want to earn, you tell them the truth. So figure out with yourself right now what is the salary you want to earn. And I thought, with my things, my accounts, and everything, my fun time and everything, I had a value chosen. Okay, in May 1st, when this guy called me, he told me I was chosen, and he was like, we wanted to know how much you want to earn. And I told them, oh, so funny. Yesterday I was having this chat with the spirit, and they asked me to tell you the truth. And the truth is I want to earn that much. And he said, okay, it's into my budget. Okay. And I was like, when will I start? And they said 30 days from now. And what do I have to do? They said, you don't need to do anything. You just come, we'll pay for everything. We'll receive you in the airport and everything. And I was like, oh my God. When I arrived there, it was everything like this. The house was prepared, the payment was settled. I got to experience this marvelous, mystical body experience with a whole lot of other people from a whole lot of other countries. And there was this guy, this shaman, that he used to perform this death ritual, but very seriously. And he asks you to also do your last prayer as if you were dying. And when we started this ritual, I got the force feeling me from head to toe. And I knew this, all the wheels that I get to have, they're not only mine. There is this central force in us that only we and the force gets to access. And while I was in that death ritual, I could sense that there was this being moving my hands. And he could tell me, do you see that you're moving your hands and that power of will? And I said, okay, I see that power of will. I can will those movements, and they will me too. Those movements want me to be doing them, almost as the statue of David, right? Because the statue of David, the guy said, oh, what made you do this statue? And the guy said, Michelangelo, right? He said, oh, I didn't do it. It was there. I only had to take off what wasn't the statue. And it was like this. He was like, can you see this will, this essence of will? This is me on you and you and me. So he was moving me all around. He was telling me everything as it had to be, and everything that he could do with my hands. And he said, that's why you have to trust your will, because when you're willing, you're in the agreement you did with me on how you wanted to be happy. So when you touch your will, your honest will, not the one brought by society, but your own honest will, not worrying about money or anything, you will access the will that you agreed with me that would leave you to be happy, because you're not choosing in here. You chose before you come in here. You are here only to watch what you chose. And when we align our wills, my will is for you to be happy. So if you align your will to mine, you will realize that this was your will the whole time. So I got to feel him all over me. He could move my hands, move my body. He told me a lot of aspects from the universe. Nothing I would have time to explain right now, because that took like 1 hour and a half. And he told me this: don't pay attention on what society is telling you, because society is trying to control you. They're trying to keep you on a level that they can domain over you. So don't trust them, trust your guts. If you feel it, if you got uh, ímpetu, impetus, if you got,
Will.
yeah, okay, will. If you got a will for something with this very high power, don't let people make you be afraid of it. Don't let anyone influence you against it. Because if I had to listen to everyone, I would listen to the obvious, which is I was going to the jungle. It was Amazon forest inside of Peru. There was no access to police in there. There was no way for me to feel safe. There was no way for me to run if I needed to, because I was in Amazon forest jungle. You got a lot of killing animals there. I would have nowhere to go.
Impetus is correct.
And my family was, don't go. You're not going to be able to talk to the police and anything if you need it. And I agreed a code with my mom. I said, Mom, okay, you call me like every other day. And back then, my grandfather, my mama's dad, he had already passed. And I agreed with her, Mom, if I tell you on the phone that grandpa came to visit me, you will know that I'm in danger. Okay, so let's keep this code. Mom, grandpa came visit me. You will know that I'm in danger. And we got this, and I got the courage, and I went, and I lived one of the best experiences in my life. But I only got this because I believed in it, and also because I called it. So why do I bring this story to magic? Because you can, I can, you can. Okay, this is not just for me. This is for us. And why do I say that? I need to close, okay, just a bit more. Why do I say that? Him, the force showing me himself is not the real magic. That is our miraculous relation. The fact that he allows us to get in touch with him. The magic was in the point where I said, I want to see the force, and to see the force, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I want that. If I get these things, I will trust that I'm living it because of the force. And then I got it. So remember to ask, remember to wish that thing that, believe it, okay? Believe it. Be here with me. Believe it. If you've got this really strong wish that is overwhelming you of so much wish, it's not only you wishing. The thing in there which you're wishing for is also wishing to receive you there, because the experience you'll have by making that wish come true will bring the learning and the experience you wanted to have. So please remember to ask and believe it. If you're wishing, it's already meant to be yours. In this life, there is no such a thing as looking for and not finding it, okay? Okay, I wish I had more time. I don't have it. Thank you so much. My heart is very thrilled in being here with you guys. I hope we have more time to grow all this subject together. If you want to search me, personally, please remember to look me on Facebook as Bueno Astral together. Okay, you will find me, my page in Facebook. And thank you so much, Love and Moon Boutique, for our partnership. I love so much this time we have together. And if you guys want to have deeper knowledge in spirituality, please remember to become a celestial member from Love and Moon Boutique, because all the enhanced experience with more deep knowledge will be accessible for memberships. Okay, so I hope to see you there, and thank you for joining me so far. Namaste. Have a nice day. Bye bye.